Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Justyna, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today we are going to explore the energy of the upcoming full moon. This time around, we've got a full moon in the sign of Scorpio happening at 11 degrees, and this is happening on the very 1st of May. All right, so if your birthday falls on the 1st of May, happy birthday. This coming year will be connected to some endings, closures. If you have any placements in your birth chart at around 11 degrees of Scorpio, Taurus, Leo or Aquarius, then you'll be under a greater influence of this full moon. A full moon occurs when the sun and the moon are in the opposing signs, and this is when the moon is fully illuminated. So here we've got quite intense full moon because the ruler dispositor of this full moon is Pluto, of course, and Pluto is connects to by a square. We've got a separating square happening at this time, still an echo from the new moon in Aries. The energies of that Aries new moon are still present, are still with us during the Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is a fixed sign, and lunations in fixed signs have lasting outcomes, lasting energies and results. Fixed energy doesn't move fast, but here it is very intentional. So here Scorpio is a water sign, of course a fixed sign associated with transformation, regeneration. It's a very, very, very deep transformative energy. All right, so Scorpio is associated, especially a full moon in Scorpio, with things that have been hidden beneath the surface. They are coming up and they are being illuminated in a really, really intense transformative way, to the point that they cannot be avoided. They can no longer be avoided overall. So we will look at what it means for all signs. I'll specifically focus on that square to Pluto, which is really intense. But I also have a little surprise for you. So I teamed up with my dear friend, Dalit. And Dalit, we've known each other, I think it's definitely at least 3 years. Dalit was my client initially, and then we became friends, and it's been a really lovely journey. One of her specialities is meditations. She creates meditations on her YouTube channel, which she established sometime last year. So Dalit prepared for us today a meditation for this particular full moon. So I gave her all the details so that she can tailor it specifically for the energies of this particular full moon. So it's not just for any full moon in Scorpio, it's for this particular full moon in Scorpio, where she focused on the square to Pluto as well. So here, this meditation will be available on my channel. It is actually available as we speak. It was released at the same time as this horoscope. So after you watch your horoscope and if you enjoy meditations, give it a go, give it a try and see how it works for you. Now here a few words from Del.
Hi everybody, I'm Del. It's lovely to meet you, and I am so excited to be collaborating with the wonderful Justyna. I am a Scorpio rising, and I know obviously you know that she is as well. Justyna and I met in the Uranus in Taurus transit quite early on, and we developed a really beautiful friendship, and we've really supported each other in this transit, which for me has been utterly life-changing. So I'm a Scorpio rising, a Taurus moon, and I've got Venus in Taurus. So it has been a massive 8 years for me. And I'm so thrilled to be able to support you with our lunar meditations and activations that are going to be created specifically for Justyna's audience. She briefs me, she gives me a full lunar brief, and we create something really specific for this energy and time. Hope you enjoy it. Let us know how you find the first one. I've done it myself. It's really powerful, and it did actually show me what I was avoiding. So beautiful to share this space with you.
Here, thank you so much, Dalit. And now let's see what this full moon means for us on a deeper level. So we'll look at each rising sign. And these horoscopes are most accurate for your rising sign. However, you can also watch them for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish just to get a bigger picture and a wider perspective upon your life. Right, so here I follow Western astrology and tropical zodiac. So let's start from the first sign, and this is Aries. Okay, so Aries, for you, this full moon illuminates your 8th house. So the 8th house is traditionally associated with the energy of Scorpio. The 8th house is the house of depth, the house of transformation, healing, and trauma as well. Very deep and profound energies. This is the area of shared and joint resources, the money that comes through different sources in our regular income. But this is also the area of investments, of mortgages, debts, loans, shared and joint resources within your marriage, within your partnerships, business partnerships as well. So with Scorpio on the 8th house cusp, this is a very profound energy. Of course, the moon in Scorpio is in its fall, so not the most comfortable energy for the moon. Whenever we have a full moon or a new moon in Scorpio, I would advise to make sure that you've got something going on, something that is nurturing, something that is calming and peaceful, because especially due to the intensity of Scorpio energy. And of course, as an Aries ascendant, your energy is very different. It's cardinal, action-oriented. Here we've got the fixed full moon, which is more about stillness and of course, lots of intensity as well. So what's happening here? Something is coming to light. Something requires your attention. Something needs to be addressed. And this could be connected to some financial entanglements, emotional entanglements, a situation that can no longer be neglected or avoided. Here with Scorpio, it is something that has been perhaps hidden beneath the surface, something connected to a financial situation, or perhaps something to do with an emotional situation that is now reaching a turning point, that is reaching its peak. If you want to dive deeper, then we can connect this full moon to the new moon that took place around 18 months prior, as per the gestation lunar cycle. That will be around 2024, November 2024. So if you can remember, connect dots, connect the story, especially if you have any placements at around 11 degrees of Scorpio. This can also give you an additional hint of what you might be dealing with potentially. We've got an activation of Pluto as well in the 11th house, a square coming to this full moon. So some kind of pressure coming from external forces, from some group dynamics, from an external organization, depending on your situation. Now, squares, of course, indicate tension. Squares indicate friction as well, pressure, that sense of pressure. And this sense of pressure and this force is coming from the 11th house. So that's the area of friendships, groups, teamwork, and also your long-term goals and dreams for the future. So there is this forced confrontation between two different areas of life that want different things. So something private here, if we look at the 8th house, this is the house of privacy. This is the house of intimacy as well. So something private, something intense, perhaps some financial agreement that you have with another person, an intimate relationship, for example, some kind of power dynamic, intense energy situation with another person, or perhaps a secret that you share with someone is being pressurized by someone from the outside world, most likely from your social circle or from some group dynamic here, with Pluto being activated in your 11th house. This could be a friend, this could be an acquaintance, this could be a group that you belong to. So on the one hand, the 8th house dynamic is about keeping things private, keeping things secret. But Pluto being activated here, something is coming to light. Something is coming, kind of coming up from the beneath the surface. And the square means that these two things can no longer be separate anymore. So this is a really tricky one, because whenever the 8th house is involved, it's a complex energy. It's complex energy. We often have to deal with things of a sensitive, complicated nature. So perhaps this could be connected to some kind of partnerships, some agreement you have with one other person, financial, for instance, that you kept private. It could suddenly involve other people. Or perhaps if you have been experiencing some issues within a close relationship, somehow someone from your social circle might find out, or perhaps generally power dynamic within your intimate relationship somehow might involve another person. Maybe something private gets exposed. Or perhaps it could be about your involvement in a certain group, organization, group dynamic. This full moon might make you realize that your involvement in that group or some kind of social cause, something like this, you might realize that perhaps it's not what you want, it's draining your energy. So as you can see with the 8th house activation, something that was hidden gets exposed, whether that's a secret, whether that's even a realization, whether that's a relationship, whether this is connected to other people's involvement in a private situation. This will depend on your circumstances. But here with the Scorpio energy, the challenge, it needs to be addressed as it happens. So overall, the 8th house dynamic also, this is the house of debts, loans. For some, this could be a point when you finally put your foot down and commit to a repayment, commit to finally get yourself out of any financial difficulties you may have been experiencing for quite some time. So as you can see, with the 8th house full moon of Scorpio, we deal with situations that were hidden, things we've been avoiding, things we've been neglecting, whatever we were maybe unaware of comes up into the light, forcing us to face it, forcing us to resolve it. But with the Pluto squaring the 8th house full moon, this could be also connected to other people's involvement in this situation. All right, so let's have a look at the next sign. Thank you, Aries. And Taurus, for you, this is happening in your area of love, relationships, partnerships, unions, people with whom you have a contract. Now, something interesting to remember is that the 8th house dynamics, especially during this full moon, because this is a very intense and transformative full moon, without a doubt, in the sign of Scorpio. So at the same time, whatever comes up here in these one-to-one connections, relationships, maybe something that especially impacts you, influences you. Remember that the 8th house is also our mirror. So whatever behavioral patterns that come up and during this time, especially coming from our partners, these could be some valuable lessons showing us some of the traits we have and perhaps we are not aware of. So also pay attention to these little hints during this time. Now, with a full moon in Scorpio, something that was hidden may come into light, because Scorpio is connected to dark and dark energy, not necessarily the negative, but if you think about the day and night, then Scorpio is connected to the night, time. So dark creatures, for example, thrive here in darkness, and Scorpio energy is connected to those creatures that thrive in dark, when there's no light, basically no light. So if you think about the area of life here, your 7th house, where Scorpio is present, when the full moon comes here, it brings a lot of light. It tends to illuminate things that we overlook and miss. And this will be connected to your one-to-one relationships, connections you have with others, but these close partnerships overall. And it could involve your close relationship, of course, your marriage partner, for instance. And perhaps there could be a situation that emerges that may require some attention overall. So also watch out, because it's very easy to explode and say something that you might later regret. Now we have a Pluto square here, a separating square coming from your 10th house. So some pressure coming from your public life, from your career life, from your life direction. Maybe it could go in different directions overall. For some, this could manifest as the pressure that you have been experiencing. You might realize that it is negatively influencing your relationship. Generally, this full moon might bring a lot of realizations, especially here, how your career and your professional world impacts these one-to-one dynamics. This could be also related to a difficult client, for example, difficult client relationship. But at the same time, don't let this energy take you out of your course, out of your direction. Here, Scorpio full moon can bring a lot of important lessons. And as I said earlier, pay attention to the patterns that come up in these one-to-ones. So here with Pluto transiting your 10th house, Uranus will be out of your first house at this point as well. This could be very much connected to major shifts happening in your financial sector, in your career, that will force you perhaps to have an important conversation that might actually directly also impact your one-to-one dynamics. Pay attention to what's happening in your public life, in your career, because they might be shaking up those relationship dynamics. Clearly, there is some pressure, some tension coming from your public life, from your public world. Maybe here you've been so engaged in your career and professional life growth that you neglected your relationship dynamics. And now this full moon is pushing and forcing you to face whatever that comes up and shows up, because this full moon illuminates what has been kind of happening beneath the surface now comes up, and it requires the resolution, attention. Now, full moons in Scorpio often also help us. Generally, they are connected to secrets, so perhaps you might discover something that you were unaware of. Maybe some kind of relationship secret that you have might become public or might influence your public life. So maybe if you are in a relationship with someone from your work, it could be that someone from your public world, career world might find out, and it could create friction. So whatever the scenario, your relationship needs your attention during this time. Your one-to-one relationships, one-to-one dynamics. Scorpio energy is about seeing what was hidden, facing what perhaps you've been avoiding, what you overlooked. So this could be connected to some major decisions and conversations that you might be having here, connected to these one-to-one dynamics. Now, this full moon, of course, will also bring to light any imbalances in these one-to-one relationships. All right, so now let's have a look at Geminis. Geminis, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. So here, this full moon illuminates your 6th house. The 6th house deals with your daily life, daily reality, your lifestyle, anything to do with your health, illnesses, and also with your work environment. We've got a square to Pluto happening in your 6th house. So here with Scorpio being such complex energy, very often with a Scorpio full moon, something here in the area of life activated by the full moon in Scorpio is being activated, brought up to the surface. This could be connected to some toxic connection and dynamic going at your work, in your work sphere, that will require a resolution, that will have to be addressed. This could be also about a strong realization that perhaps, generally, especially with the square to Pluto in the 9th house, this is the house of your life philosophy, your beliefs. Maybe during this full moon, you might realize that the atmosphere, the energy at work doesn't really align with your beliefs, with what you stand for. So there could be this friction that may appear around this time. Maybe some kind of misalignment, especially if things have already been happening behind the scenes, behind the surface. Now here, listen to what your any body signals during this time as well, because here I'm not a medical expert, but with a Scorpio full moon here, definitely in the 6th house energy. Listen to also what your body is telling you. The sixth house dynamics also reveal any patterns connected to exhaustion, burnout. If you feel like your body needs to rest, then go for it, because you are on a burnout territory potentially if you don't find a healthy balance. Remember, you've got the sun, the solar point activated in your sixth house, while the moon is in your sixth house, while the sun, the solar point, is in your 12th house. So it is a quite of an introspective time, a time when you might want to go within, and at the same time, a great time for looking at your responsibilities, duties. This full moon could really help you to see what is unsustainable in your daily life, daily reality. So an amazing opportunity for restructuring your diet, your health routine. And if you're recovering from a health treatment, from a surgery, usually the full moon is the peak of the healing process. And after the full moon, the healing process tends to speed up. Pluto has been staying in your ninth house since 2023. So you have been transforming your worldviews, your life philosophy, your belief system. And now if Uranus moving into your first house, if, for example, you feel like something is changing inside of you and something is shifting, which it will, this could also, of course, make you redefine your life philosophy. And as a result of that, you might realize that perhaps the way you live, your lifestyle, how you look after yourself, your physical body, for example, doesn't align with the version of yourself that is becoming. So here there could be that friction as well. And you might be questioning your beliefs. You might be questioning your worldviews, what you believe as well during this time. So this is a time to overall to go within without a doubt, to find a healthy balance between your everyday reality and a time that you need to rest and recharge. But at the same time, see what comes up and shows up at your work, within your physical body, within your routine. This is the Scorpio full moon asking for transformation. See what's sustainable, see what isn't. And also pay attention to these toxic dynamics that may show up at your work that might also need to be addressed. Thank you so much. And now Cancers, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. So here, full moons, of course, are connected to letting go, releasing of what's negative, of what doesn't serve us, of what is not sustainable. That's your fifth house energy, the area of creativity, self-expression, romance, and children. So here, Cancers, something here is shifting in this area of your life. Pay attention to any control issues, jealousy, behavioral patterns that may show up in your romantic sphere of life, especially with Pluto in squaring this full moon from the 8th house. This full moon could also reveal the true colors of your relationship. So keep it in mind, because Pluto is activated in the 8th house, the house, of course, traditionally associated with the energy of Scorpio. And at the same time, this is also the house of intimate relationships. And the 5th house is the house of romance. So there could be some friction. There could be some also realization that perhaps of some imbalances within your romantic sphere of your life, especially if you feel like you've been over-investing your energy into making this connection work. Then this full moon could definitely make you question whether this connection, this relationship is worth your energy and time. But at the same time, this is, of course, also the area of projects or perhaps self-employment and the area of self-expression as well. So since full moons are often connected to turning points as well, maybe an important project you've been working on is reaching an important phase, an important turning point. You might experience a sense of crisis temporarily, maybe a change of direction. So generally, the Scorpio full moon helps you see things that perhaps were overlooked, address dynamics that were avoided or perhaps neglected. So this is definitely a chance to face the truth, to face the challenge that comes up as well. This full moon could be also connected to a situation that involves your children. This is the house of children as well, of course. And whatever comes up and shows up might be also connected to an element of transformation. Watch out for any power dynamics issues connected to jealousy, behavioral patterns, control as well. This might be quite prominent around this full moon. Now, if you have been working with another person on a project, or perhaps if you have been involved in some kind of collaboration, and if you didn't discuss the roles, who does what, or perhaps if there were some unspoken rules, or perhaps you didn't agree who does what, then it might become an issue during this full moon. So this will need clarification overall. This full moon might also make you more aware of any of your weaknesses, of what's holding you back from becoming more authentic in your life. So here, that's something to address as well, to pay attention to. So thank you so much, Cancers. Now, Leos, welcome to this full moon in Scorpio horoscope. So here, this full moon illuminates your 4th house, so your foundations, your emotional foundations, your home life, your family life, your roots, where you come from. Now, full moons, of course, are connected to letting go and turning point. So pay attention to what's happening in your emotional life around this time. Pay attention to what's happening in the area of your family, of your home, because it will require your attention. It will require your energy. Especially pay attention to dynamics, family dynamics, that perhaps something that perhaps have been happening behind the scenes could be brought up to the light. Some family secrets, things perhaps that were kept away from you. During this full moon, a situation that you have been avoiding, you might have to face it. Now, full moon in Scorpio. This is a good time for decluttering as well, getting rid of things that you no longer need. And here, since Scorpio energy also deals with the darker places in our house, so generally anything that's under our kitchen sink, for example, any pipes, drainage, toilets, for instance, as well, or perhaps even places like little storage under the staircase, for instance. Perhaps it's worth checking what's going on in there. Watch out for any pipe blockages, for example, any toilet issues. If you see that something is happening, then definitely act immediately. Don't delay, it might escalate into something more serious potentially. Now, at the same time, if you're currently renovating your house, then this could potentially be a turning point. This could potentially be the end of it. But at the same time, since we have a square from Pluto in your 7th house, this could play out in a couple of different ways. So first of all, this energy, of course, could bring some tension and pressure. It's a square, and Pluto is a very intense planet and transformative as well. So it could be that you might feel unsupported by someone close to you. You might feel like you have to juggle everything by yourself, or perhaps it could be about 2 different opinions, a clash of opinions. It could be that your significant other is going through their own transformation, and perhaps they don't have energy or time to deal with whatever you're dealing with at home. Maybe they could destabilize your emotional well-being, for example. And since this is coming to light now with the full moon in Scorpio, it's a chance to clear the air, to discuss it in a harmonious way, rather than waiting for a conflict or something more powerful to emerge. Now, this energy, of course, could manifest as your landlord, for example, delivering some unexpected news, or perhaps informing you about a change of a situation, for example. So watch out for these sort of dynamics, and the best way to deal with it is to just having this open conversation, so that you know where you stand, so that you have full clarity about what's happening and which path to choose, which direction to take. Because this full moon could also make you realize about any gaps, imbalances within your family dynamics. And of course, also pay attention to your surroundings, to your home, as this full moon could also reveal what needs fixing, for instance, as well. So thank you so much. And Virgos, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon activates your 3rd house. So this is a really intense full moon for you in terms of your communication. So definitely choose your words wisely, because your words carry a lot of meaning around this time, a lot of depth as well. They usually do, of course, because Scorpio is in your third house. So yes, you are someone probably with good research skills, someone with a probing mind, someone who enjoys to get to the root of any problem, any issue. With a square to Pluto in Aquarius as well in your sixth house, it's really essential to think before you speak around this time, because it's very easy to get into hot-heated debates or unnecessary discussions. All right, so here, since full moon are connected to turning points, change of dynamics even, this full moon could be connected to a situation that you've been dealing with, connected to your everyday life, everyday reality, where Pluto is currently staying, that might be reaching a turning point. So this could be a time of some major decisions, major emails, messages, conversations. Yes, this is the house of communication, information. So for this reason, it's a time to really be wise with what you say, and thoughtful about how you communicate, how you get your message across overall. So overall, during this time, you might have this really strong need to say something, communicate something to someone from your everyday reality, or your neighbor, or someone from like your sibling, for example. Something that perhaps can no longer be kept as a secret or quiet. So you might have this really strong need to get it out of your system, get it out of your body. A great time for clarity, for having these honest conversations. So whatever it is here, this could also force you to make an important or even a difficult decision. Now, Pluto is in your sixth house. This could also involve your work sphere. This could also involve your everyday reality, everyday life. Perhaps something that recently occurred at your work, for instance, or something that someone said connected to your work sphere, for instance, affected your well-being or your sense of confidence. And this full moon is forcing you to confront that person, or to make a difficult decision, for example. So overall here with this full moon, this is connected to something that has already been building up, and now it reaches a point of release. All right, so thank you so much, Virgos. And now Libras. Libras, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon activates your second house. The second house deals with your financial area of your life, your income, financial security, stability, your resources, your possessions. So here, Scorpio energy is connected to very deep and transformative energy. And of course, full moons bring turning points, culminations as well. Now, this full moon is likely connected to a financial situation reaching a turning point, reaching a peak, needing your attention, needing a resolution. Since the sun is in your 8th house, this could be connected to a potential debt repayment. This could be connected to some kind of asset. So something here needs to be addressed in the financial sector, perhaps something that you have been delaying or avoiding. Now, this full moon, since it's happening in your second house of self-worth and self-esteem, it could also make you question your own worth. Very often with Scorpio on the second house cusp, people experience fear of loss, fear of loss of money. Or perhaps there is this very deep and secretive, transformative connection with the financial area of life, some kind of secrecy, maybe even some kind of trauma. So this full moon could now bring some of this to light, making you more aware of any negative tendencies, or perhaps any blockages that are holding you back from feeling more financially fulfilled and stable. And at the same time, we've got the square coming from Pluto in Aquarius in your 5th house. Squares are connected to pressure and friction. So this could be connected to some outgoings that you've been dealing with. Maybe it is connected to your child who has been needing your support more than you expected. And now the time has come to have an important conversation. Maybe you want them to be more financially sufficient. Maybe they are still comfortable getting help from you, but perhaps you're realizing that you can no longer support them in a way that you have been up until now. Now, this could be also connected to your area of course, area of your romantic side of life. So if you feel like you've been overspending, if you feel like you've been spending too much on your romantic relationship or perhaps on some fun activities, then this full moon could also make you question your choices. So look for any dynamics that are draining your energy, not just your wallet. What's draining? What do you find draining? Who or what is draining you, financially and emotionally speaking? All right, so here we've got Scorpios now. All right, so Scorpios, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. So this is an absolutely huge one for you, of course, happening in your first house. I'm myself also Scorpio rising. So here, think about any placements in the Scorpio first house. What's happening there? Do you have anything at 11 degrees of Scorpio? Because this will be activated during this time, which will also bring additional transformation and that sense of rebirth overall. All right, so here the first house is connected to your physical body, to your identity, to your outer shell, to the lens through which you see the world, to your direction. And full moons often bring those turning points and the needs to let go, release. And here something is changing within you without a doubt, but also it could be connected to your direction. You might experience that sense of a rebirth, which of course is a very common theme for Scorpios overall. So this full moon, you will feel it very different to the rest of the signs because you're used to the intensity of this energy, of course. But this energy could also bring to light things that perhaps you were unaware of in terms of yourself, but also when it comes to the direction that you're heading. It could be a time when you might see very clearly what is sustainable, what isn't, what serves your growth and what doesn't. Now, we've got a little bit of tension at this time. Pluto in Aquarius is activated in your fourth house, the area of your foundations, of your home, and of your roots where you come from. Pluto has been staying here since 2023, transforming these emotional foundations, bringing up to light a lot of unresolved emotional dynamics, memories, feelings that are ready to be healed in many ways. But here we've got a separating square. So something in your home is disrupting or may disrupt your emotional stability. Here, a family situation, a family dynamic, whatever is happening in the emotional, in the home sphere overall, is creating that inner transformation, maybe a change of direction as well. And this is, of course, significant because we are now in the cycle of Aries, Aquarius and Leo, and the nodes will shift into Aquarius and Leo in July. We've had an Aquarius eclipse back in February in your fourth house. Then we've got a solar eclipse in the 10th house. So this energy is in a way connected to this cycle because the square to Pluto, with Pluto being activated in your area of your foundations, of your home, where you come from, it can bring that sense of instability without a doubt, or some shifts happening in the home sector that could push you to change your direction to one extent or another direction. But at the same time, this could be also a point of letting go and releasing of the stagnant energies that don't serve you any good. Something that perhaps was kept a secret, something that perhaps we weren't fully aware of, perhaps you forgot about, might come up to the surface, needing your attention, needing your energy. And at the same time, with this full moon and Pluto activation, this is also a great time for decluttering your space, for getting rid of things you don't need. I've been in a massive need of doing a massive clear out in my house. And that's what I've been doing since the new moon in Aries. I've got this really strong need for better structure and for getting rid of things that I don't need. So at the same time with the full moon activating in the area of the self, something that you are unaware of about yourself suddenly comes to light. Something connected to your path, the direction that you're heading overall. This is definitely a moment of reinvention of oneself. The light is on you. So yes, this energy makes you more visible, more noticeable, maybe more popular to a certain extent. And this could be connected to also the world finding out more about generally your immediate environment. Because Scorpio energy is hidden, is dark. It's connected to the night time with the moon illuminating this area of life. Something is visible, something that perhaps you've been hiding, you are keeping away, something that perhaps you forgot about might come up to the surface, needing your attention, needing a resolution. But at the same time here with Pluto being activated, the pressure is coming from your foundations as well. And a possible shift is taking place here in these family dynamics. All right, so thank you so much. Now let's have a look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope, activating your 12th house. It's a kind of a full moon that might want to make you want to isolate, withdraw. The energies are quite draining. Here with the sun in your 6th house, if you've been engaged in an important project, working with determination over the last few weeks, you might actually reach a point of a burnout by the time this full moon shows up. And it's not that, you just want to give everything up. No, but you might need a few days to recharge your energies. And that's okay. Go for it. You need it. It's going to be really, really healthy and beneficial for you because overall, Taurus season is quite hectic. The sun is transiting your 6th house. So yes, it's the 6th house is the house of hard work and labor. It's a time when you can actually achieve a lot. But during the full moon in your 12th house, you need time alone. You need time to recharge your energies. And you absorb other people's energies very easily and quickly. So for this reason, you need to find a way to regenerate yourself. Now, at the same time, this full moon brings to light what's been hidden, what's been overlooked, especially in your private life, in your inner world as well. So definitely engage in activities that give you that peace of mind, tranquility, or journaling. You might find journaling very therapeutic, or meditation, which is now available on my channel as well. So you can watch it after you finish watching this horoscope. It's a wonderful full moon for spirituality, for going on a detox, for learning about yourself on a deeper level. Your intuition is strong during this time, and you might have some interesting intuitive insights about yourself. You might experience insomnia during this time. That's often the case with the full moon transiting our 12th house. This is over a time for peace and quiet, spending time in nature, on doing things that give you that peace of mind, sense of tranquility as well. But at the same time, this full moon could also make you more aware of some unconscious behavioral patterns. And this is a time of a greater self-awareness on a deeper level, a chance for healing, a chance for self-understanding. And at the same time, this is a time when you might be reevaluating your past as well. With Scorpio full moon, you can dive really deep. But here we also have a square coming from Pluto in Aquarius. So here, Pluto in Aquarius is in your 3rd house of communication, information exchange, your thinking processes. So this square could indicate that this could be a time of some major decisions you'll be reevaluating in your mind. And this sort of energy could watch out for any obsessive, compulsive behavioral patterns. You might experience thoughts racing through your mind. This could be a time of some major decisions that you might be making. Things perhaps you've been avoiding might now have to be addressed. choose your words wisely during this time. Generally, your words carry a lot of meaning and a lot of profound energies. So for this reason, you need to communicate very intentionally around this time, because it's very easy to, even unintentionally, to say the wrong thing, especially under stressful circumstances. So here with the pressure coming from the third house, and this could be connected to some important decisions, conversations. At the same time, this full moon could make you feel quite introverted or maybe more sensitive. Something that someone says might affect you. If you feel like something or someone, what someone or someone says affects you quite deeply, don't take it too personally. Maybe try to surround yourself during this time with positive people, positive influences, but at the same time, you might feel easily triggered. So this full moon could be also connected to an important therapy session, coaching session that could open up new perspectives, and that could generally provide answers to some deep questions that perhaps you are thinking about. So pay attention to your dreams during this time. Pay attention to what comes up, what shows up from beneath the surface, because this is a chance to face whatever that comes up and shows up, because it could be quite valuable, especially since we are in this brand new cycle of Leo and Aquarius. The nodes will soon shift into these areas of life. So this full moon could be helping you let go and release something stagnant and perhaps something unsustainable. Potentially could open up doors once the nodes shift into Leo and Aquarius axis. Thank you very much. Now, Capricorns, welcome to this full moon in Scorpio horoscope, activating your 11th house. So this is the house of groups, friendships, and the house of our long-term dreams, hopes, and wishes. Now, Scorpio is connected to very intense, transformative energy. Now, this full moon could be connected to some breakthroughs, revelations, connected to your social circle, to a friendship, to a connection. This could be connected to generally a connection that perhaps has been already on a rocky ground, and suddenly this person might reveal their true colors. Maybe this could be also related to a situation that emerges with someone that perhaps has already been kind of on your radar. Very often with full moons in Scorpio, we realize who is our friend and who isn't, who aligns with our energies and who drains them. So watch out for anything that comes up from beneath the surface in these social situations, group dynamics as well. Now here, of course, we've got a square to Pluto in Aquarius at this time as well. Pluto in Aquarius in your second house, in the financial area of your life. So here with Pluto coming from the second house, for some, this could be about a realization that perhaps you've been some kind of group commitment or some kind of membership has been draining your finances and you're not getting enough, or you feel like you're not getting enough in return. This could also be connected to that sense of self-worth. So here again, if you feel like there is someone in your life that is negatively contributes into your well-being and potentially affects your sense of self-worth, it might also come up to the surface. You might become more aware of this dynamic around this full moon. So definitely pay attention to these social dynamics, friendships, reevaluate your commitments to certain groups, organizations as well. See what's sustainable, what's financially beneficial as well. Now, at the same time, with a full moon here, indeed, 11th house, for some, this could manifest as feeling more popular in a certain group surroundings, working with a group towards an important milestone, an important goal. But just pay attention, because there is that friction coming from the second house, whether that's someone trying to revealing their true colors, someone affecting your sense of self-worth, or perhaps some kind of group dynamics draining your resources or energies, this is something to definitely pay attention to. But also this full moon could make you think more carefully and deeply about your goals, about your future dreams as well. So thank you very much. And let's have a look at Aquarius. Aquarius, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon connects to Aquarius via square, and we also have a Pluto activation in your first house. So this is the 10th house full moon. Full moons in the 10th house tends to make us more popular, tends to make us more visible, more noticeable. This could be connected to some career-related advancements, feedback, good feedback, a sense of recognition, some career-related changes, shifts, and so on. But at the same time, with the square to Pluto, this full moon could also help you see through. Generally, it could help you see any toxic dynamics happening in your area of career, perhaps any toxic connections as well, any imbalances in this area of your life. On a different level, this full moon could also make you question your career path, especially if you feel like something isn't working, something isn't fully aligned. This full moon could very much bring it to light and make you more aware, maybe even change your mind about your direction. Because with Pluto in the first house of the South being activated, something is shifting. There's some friction in the air, and you have been transforming on a deeper level. Your life has been transforming as well. And since you are undergoing this big shift, the person that you are becoming might not fully align with the direction that you're heading with your life, or with your career life. And this full moon might want you to be honest with yourself. It might reveal any imbalances and what's working and what isn't. And here during this time, you might feel more courageous to face any challenge, especially if you're experiencing the sense of misalignment. If you have built your career on other people's expectations or family expectations, and it no longer aligns with the person that you are becoming, then here this full moon might also bring these important questions, evaluations as well. And Pisces, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. So this full moon illuminates your 9th house of your beliefs, of your life philosophy, of your life direction. So full moons often are connected to endings, change of direction, change of dynamic. So this full moon, generally here in the area of adventure, foreign people, foreign travel, higher education, this could be connected to perhaps a completion of an important course of study, for example. You might be changing your degree, for instance, because this could make you realize that you're not on the right path. Remember, Scorpio energy, a full moon in Scorpio can help you see what's happening beneath the surface, behind the scenes. What was not visible becomes very, very visible around this time. And this is connected to your purpose, to your life direction, to your educational journey as well. So if something feels off or misaligned, then it will become very visible. During this time, we've got a square coming also from Pluto in your 12th house. The 12th house deals with the hidden aspects of your life, of your psyche, your private life. So something that has been happening on a very deep level beneath the surface. Here with deep down in your psyche is suddenly being awakened with the energy of the full moon. Maybe you're realizing that your worldviews are changing, that you don't fully align with your life philosophy. Maybe your belief system or your life philosophy was built on something that isn't fully yours. Now, on a different level, this could be also connected to a legal matter that might be reaching a turning point, that might be reaching a peak. Now, this is the house of foreign places as well, foreign people. Perhaps you'll be dealing with a situation that involves someone who comes from a foreign land, some kind of international organization, for example. Now, since the 9th house is also connected to people that inspire us, our teachers, Perhaps during this full moon, you might realize that the person that you trusted and you have given authority to is not who you thought they were. So as you can see with the full moon happening in this area of your life, this could be connected to that your need to redefine your beliefs, your belief system, your life philosophy, your worldviews might be completely shifting. It's there's so much depth and transformation here with this full moon that what doesn't serve you anymore, what doesn't serve your growth, what's not sustainable is going to be eliminated. It's going to dissolve gradually. So something is shifting on a deeper level. This is also the area of self-growth, self-development. You are experiencing that inner transformation that will directly also influence your path. All right, so thank you so much, Pisces.